Hello and welcome to another episode of Anthony Scouts. It's been another action-packed weekend in the Premier League. We've had some fantastic results, late drama, um, everything you need from the Premier League. It happened again this weekend. And well, one place to start, and that's Liverpool's 2-1 win over Chelsea on Sunday. I thought it was an intriguing match. I thought um, Chelsea did way better than I expected. I thought they were brilliant in possession. Um, you know, not many teams go to Anfield and control the game like Chelsea did. In certain aspects, especially in the first half. I think Chelsea recorded the biggest percentage or ball success rate or percentage rate of possession for a long time at Anfield as well. I think I saw a stat about that. Um, and just goes to show the impact that Maresca's made on the squad already. I thought Chelsea were technically really good. Um, and also having Romeo Lavia back in midfield again just gave them that little edge they needed in midfield. You know, but both him and Caicedo were excellent in the first half, especially. I thought they controlled the game. I thought the way they were playing out of pressure as well. Liverpool's Liverpool's press can be relentless at times. I think under and Arne Slot, it's been a bit more controlled. And there were aspects where there were certain parts of the game where Chelsea were breaking through Liverpool's press. Having the technical quality of Reece James, Tosin, and Levi Colwill, playing out from the back, and then Lavia and Caicedo, in the midfield. I thought was a really good setup by Maresca. Having the 3-2 and then trying to break Liverpool's press. And there were certain moments where Chelsea got out of it. Reece James was pulling off some lovely long balls. It's good, really good to have him back. Quality performer. Him and Trent. At one of two of the best right backs I've seen. If I'm being honest. Over the modern game. You know, two enjoyable fullbacks on show on Sunday. I thought Reece James was excellent on his return. I know he only played 60 minutes, and that's understandable given his injury record. But he looked on it. He looked defensively there. He looked. The through balls he was making, even the passes through lines. The quality Reece James has on the ball. And he offered Chelsea that technical security throughout. Um, but yeah, I thought Chelsea were excellent in possession. Especially with Romeo Lavia, man. That guy, he's a he's a real player. Again, someone that needs to stay fit, someone that needs to stay on top of his game, because Chelsea need that, especially when in these big matches when you need someone that can keep the ball, that can help you control the game as much as you want to. But I think Chelsea's attack let them down at certain parts. And I think Jadon Sancho is someone who I'm a big fan of, but it didn't work out at United. As sad as I am about that. He started off well at Chelsea, but there's certain aspects to his game that let Chelsea down, right? In that Liverpool game. When Chelsea broke the thirds, broke through the thirds, into the final third. They looked laboured, they looked lax, they looked lethargic, and I thought Jadon Sancho slowed down their game too much. When the ball came to him, I feel they needed an Nkunku or a Pedro Neto. Or even a Modric, someone that can get the ball in the wing and speed it up. Try and get by Trent with pace and aggression, intensity. And Sancho just doesn't offer that. To get the best out of Sancho, you need a marauding fullback alongside him. Chelsea don't have that. Um, you know, Cucurella unfortunately wasn't around. Um, Gusto is excellent. But he was playing as in that in the inverted role. So that there wasn't a way for him to get by Trent along with Sancho. occasionally through the game. But yeah, Sancho he needs that marauding fullback next to him, that Cucurella that can go on the outside of him. He can thread those through balls, or even allowing him the Cucurella staying wide and allow him the space to work in the half spaces. He didn't have that. I thought when he got the ball out wide, he was too slow. He's not too slow, but he slowed the game down. He slowed Chelsea's attack down, and I thought that's why Chelsea's attacks broke down a lot in the first half. They needed a Neto out there. They needed a Modric um, to speed up the play. They needed, they needed them to, get past Trent and get to the byline and all that stuff and put balls in the box and all that stuff. I think Chelsea missed that intensity, missed that aggression. Everything else was perfect, but getting to the final third, you know, um, we saw Palmer getting shut down impressively by Curtis Jones. Palmer wasn't at his best on that game. Curtis Jones was fantastic. Deserved man of the match. He was everywhere defensively and attack. But yeah, I feel Chelsea. I feel that's an area where Maresca will need to address, especially in those big games. 'Cause if Chelsea want to be getting top four, and I feel they'll be strong. They'll be strong for it, especially with the way they've been playing so far and 8 games in. I feel they need to. Maresca needs to get an attack that can consistently um, um, deliver. And it's not just Palmer that's doing it. So when Palmer's having a quiet game like this, others can step up. And I feel like Maresca needs to find that solution. As the weeks go by, maybe putting and Kunku at the 10, Palmer on the right, but having them Palmer. Giving Palmer a Reece James that can fly forward and past him. And again, Reece James needs to get to that physical levels first before he can do that. Or maybe having Neto and Kunku and Palmer, and then getting Reece James high and wide on the right hand side, Palmer in the half spaces, and Kunku working together centrally with Palmer, and then Neto breaking the defensive line and all that stuff. That's something to think about. Jackson, I thought it was really good again. Good finish. And I told people last season, yeah, he was missing chances left, right, and center, but he's going to improve it. It couldn't get any. His finishing couldn't get any worse, for me. And he's brought some improvement. I think he got 5 goals already, which is impressive. So I think Chelsea are all right up front. As long as Jackson is fit and firing, but you got Nkunku behind him. So yeah, Jackson's got 5 goals already. So he's doing really well. But yeah, just something for Maresca to think about. Getting his attack firing, especially in those big games. I thought Sancho's slow paced profile let them down a bit. And that speed and aggression and intensity didn't allow others to you know get that their mojo, as we've seen Chelsea do a lot this season. You want to play Sancho in those games where you can win, but again, you got to switch it up with the big sides, get some unpredictability in there, get a Neto, get a Modric, and, someone that can speed up the play. And again, that's something for Maresca to think about. But yeah, I thought Liverpool did really well in certain aspects, but like I was saying before, Chelsea were getting through Liverpool's press, and I do feel Liverpool haven't been as aggressive and intense as they were before on the club. And I guess Arne Slot wants some more control. He's not that gegenpress manager. He wants more control. He wants to press, but he wants more control. So you see Liverpool a bit too passive in the first line of pressure. And I thought he did excellent in when he tweaked things a bit on in the second half. He got Szoboszlai more deeper, which meant Liverpool were able to man-to-man press easily because Chelsea were getting through when Jota and is it who was next to him? Szoboszlai. Yeah, Justin Szoboszlai were jumping, and then allowed Chelsea to have a free man in the middle. Gusto was so many times. Reece James found Gusto free in between the lines, and that tweak from Slot bringing Szoboszlai back. Szoboszlai got the aggression, the energy and intensity. He's a hard worker. He tracks runners, and that's why he may not be getting the goals and assists that his game demands or expects. But the reason why Szoboszlai's starting week in week out, because he's a hard worker. You're going to get 100% from him off the ball, and that tweak from Slot. That tactical tweak from Slot was impressive, getting him dropping back, and then helping them track the Gusto and Palmer, and Curtis Jones tracking Palmer. I thought that was excellent tactical ingenuity from Slot, and at the end of the day, it got Liverpool to win. Curtis Jones, excellent performer, brilliant performer. Someone that could and should be playing regularly for England. Um, Something for Thomas Tuchel to think about before he makes his first squad next year. So many midfielders to choose from, but Curtis Jones is definitely amongst them. I thought he was excellent everywhere. He was everywhere on the pitch. Breaking up play, slowing down Chelsea's attacks when Chelsea got to the attacking third. Yes, their game was a bit slow, but also when they looked threatening, it was Curtis Jones helping out Van Dijk and Konate in front of him. I thought Curtis Jones was excellent, deserved man of the match. Took his goal well as well, because those kind of scenarios are difficult. He could have had two even. The penalty shout that he had when Sanchez knocked him over, and he flew over him. I thought he should have shot earlier. He had time to shoot. I don't know why he didn't shoot earlier, but yeah, thoroughly fantastic game Curtis Jones had. And again, something to take forward now. Can he cement his place in the Liverpool team? Can he cement his place in Slots XI? That's the question for him now. McAllister wasn't around, but it seemed that Liverpool didn't need McAllister. So that's an edge Curtis Jones can have. Now it's performing in a big game like that. Can you now build on that and cement your place and take McAllister's place in the XI, which is a question for him. I thought Gravenberch alongside him was excellent as well. The way Gravenberch plays under pressure, just like I don't know who's better, Romeo Lavia or Gravenberch when playing under pressure. I think Lavia's got the edge a bit because he always offers himself every time for the ball. Gravenberch, he'll offer himself time and time again, but he hasn't got the movements, the intricate movements in the build up to offer himself for the ball. He's not as how can I put it? Not as brave in trying to receive every single time consistently. He's got that technically. He's got that technical gift. He can receive and all that stuff, but he doesn't offer himself enough. I feel that's the edge that Lavia has over him right now. But again, as the weeks go by, Gravenberch will pick up on that. But there were certain points in that game at Anfield where I thought he was excellent on the ball. There was one moment where he received the ball from, I think, the goalkeeper was at Van Dijk, and he dropped the shoulder, and he was gone. Dropped the shoulder from Chelsea's press against Chelsea's press, and he was gone. Distributed the ball nicely. That's certain moments that Slot loves. That's what Slot loves. I thought Gravenberch was excellent there in the game. Salah as always, providing the assist, scoring the penalty. So reliable from the penalty spot. And the way he's adding assists to his game right now is impressive. So yeah, Liverpool won 10 out of 11 games now, and winning. They've won 7 out of 8 on in the Premier League. Can they now? Can they now? I feel they should be there or thereabouts in the title race. I feel, nothing, not much has changed in the squad. It's the same squad, even though it's a change of manager. The players should be going that one step further now. And I guess, if Arne Slot gives them the tactical foundations to perform consistently like they have been, because they have got some tough games, as I said in the previous episode, they have got some tough games coming up. They've got Leipzig up, they've got Arsenal next week Sunday. Um, they got City soon. They got Real Madrid, by Leverkusen and Real Madrid and Aston Villa, Brighton away. Some tough games coming up over the next month or so, and that'll be a true test of Liverpool's credentials. But yeah, I do feel there'll be a there or thereabouts. The defense is top notch. Only conceded 3 goals this season in eight games, which is fantastic, really good. Um, but I feel they should be there or thereabouts. Again, if Slot can make those tweaks in the press, make Liverpool more aggressive, make Liverpool more intense, make them more scary. With Klopp, when Liverpool pressed you, you were bullied into submission. If Slot can get them to that level again, Liverpool will be a strong force. They can really challenge City. I feel. So it was a shame Jota came off injured. But when you got Nunes to call upon, if Jota's injured, you know, so much quality Liverpool have. But yeah, I do feel Liverpool will be should be there or thereabouts. I think it'll be disappointing if they fall away at some point. I want them to be consistently there. I'm a United fan. I should hate Liverpool, and I do hate Liverpool, but I want to see a free horse race. I want to see entertainment. Yeah, and I'm hoping Liverpool are there or thereabouts, even when with 10, 15 games to go, 8 games to go. Liverpool should be there or thereabouts in the title race. Chelsea, I think they'll be fine. I think their defense is too weak sometimes. Certain points Liverpool breach them so easily. If Chelsea want to be getting that top four, the defense needs to be much better. The certain Colwill was a bit you know fragile, and cost them a bit, especially given the penalty away. Certain moments like that where he should he's got that quality. He's got the defensive quality but there's certain points in his game. There's certain moments in his game where he loses concentration. He's a bit rash. Yeah, that's the word. He's a bit rash at times. And I think if he can refine those moments in his game, he could be one of the best in the world. But yeah, Chelsea let themselves down defensively, and they've let themselves down defensively, despite their good form this season. If they can address those issues in defense, then they will be strong contenders for top four. But yeah, really, really intriguing game that was. Even we saw Wolves losing at the death against City. I said in the last episode that Wolves need 3 points, and it's got to a stage for Gary O'Neill where they they've got to be getting 3 points against the big boys. Yes, they won't be judged against games against City, but when you haven't won 8 games into the season, you know the pressure is on. I thought Wolves were excellent for certain moments. Their low block, keeping City out. But City have so many avenues, so many variations in their game, so many solutions to break down low blocks. You saw Gvardio's excellent strike. I thought that was another top strike from him. His goal catalogue for City right now, ever since he came into the club, is exceptional. Impressive goals against Real Madrid, against Fulham, against Newcastle. He scored. I think he scored a banger like that. Yeah, he scored a banger like that against Real Madrid. He got another one on Sunday. Top player. If Guardiola wants, he can even put Guardiola in midfield if he wants to. Just to stem the tide of Ren Rodri not being in the squad. Get him in the double pivot with Gundogan at times, or even inverting from left back. But yeah, Guardiola is a top player. Um, has all the tools to be the next. Has all the tools to be the best, one of the best in the world, top five centre backs in the world. Top player. Excellent performance against Wolves. Um, you know, um, so yeah, City have so many avenues to break, even when they're not at their best, even when they haven't got their best players and De Bruyne and Rodri. Because I feel that they are missing that that what's it that it's a penetrative passer in Rodri and De Bruyne, someone that can find those through balls that no one else can see. And that's why Haaland hasn't scored much the last few games, because he hasn't got that penetrative passer to get the ball into him quickly. Bernardo Silva, Foden, Savinho, they're all ball carriers, and Doku, they're all ball carriers. They're not someone that can find that telling pass. Foden, he has that in his locker, but he doesn't do it often enough, and that's why I feel Guardiola doesn't put him in midfield often enough, because he hasn't got that penetrative passing. Um, but yeah, City are doing well to get 3 points even when they don't have Rodri and De Bruyne at their disposal. They're still looking strong again. Still trying to find ways to win. And that's the mark of champions. So yeah. City will be City. Don't have anything to say against them. But yeah, worrying times for Wolves. For clubs that haven't got wins under their belts, right? Crystal Palace, Southampton, Wolves, really worrying times for those three. Um, just can't get points in the ball. Southampton, I thought when they were 2-0 up against Leicester, I thought yes, okay, let's come on, Russell Martin, can you now get that win? 2-0 up, they were impressive against Leicester in the first half. I thought they had them. Goals from Aribo and who scored for Southampton? Um, I think Aribo got the second. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cameron Archer. Yeah, he's amongst the goals now. That's 2-2 for him. But yeah, I thought when they went 2-0 up, I thought, Southampton, come on now, this is your chance. But then from the moment Leicester scored, from the moment Buonanotte, Facundo Buonanotte, fantastic player, excellent form. I think he's got 3 goals and 2 assists already this season. He's in top form. He's made a huge difference. I saw somewhere that Brighton are exceptionally happy with his development. And of course, you knew he's such a good player. He's so nimble. He may be small in size and all that stuff. You may feel like he does, but he's got that technically. He's technically gifted. Can work in small spaces. He's got that small space quality. Those players that can operate in tight spaces, get out of tight spaces. He's also. I read somewhere that he recorded the most duels won out of any player in game week 8, which is mightily impressive, and that goes to show it's a testament to his aggression, a testament to his intensity and the levels that he plays at consistently. And I feel that's why he's a top player. It's not just because of his technical acumen, it's not just because he can play in those small places, small spaces, and thread those through balls, and he's got a wonderful left foot, but he's also a hard worker, and that's why he's a mainstay in Steve Cooper's side. Buonanotte has been one of the players of the season so far for me. Even if it's just outside the top, outside the top 6. He's arguably been one of the best players of the season so far. Fantastic player, fantastic talent. And again, Brighton have yet another player, given the amount of talent they've got at their disposal right now. Buonanotte had to go out on loan and find some regular game time, find some confidence. And he's doing that at Leicester so far. 3 goals and 2 assists already. It's impressive. You know, but yeah, from the moment Buonanotte scored that goal, I just knew Southampton are going to crumble. And when you feel that for a side that's in a relegation zone, can't pick up wins, can't isn't scoring enough, There's only one thought, and that's, they're a shoo-in for relegation. And I'm sad to say that about Southampton, because I love their football. I love the football they play on the Russell Martin. Like I said before, I'm a possession based football watch. I love possession and positional play. Um, I love the football that they play on the Russell Martin. I feel I feel but that does come at a price, and that price is that Southampton don't score enough goals. They're bad defensively, and they don't score enough. Too many times their good football is deep in their own half, and then when they get into the final third, there's nobody to link the play. There's no one to carry that forward. Um, that's something Russell Martin's got to fix. Something Russell Martin's got to address, and I thought they did that in the first half. I thought they were excellent. I thought they got their good football into the final third. Now, I thought the way they accessed the final third in the first half against Leicester, I thought was excellent. But yeah, as I said before, as soon as Bonanza got that 64th minute goal, I just knew Southampton aren't winning this game. And they did well to get it to 64 minutes without conceding. But yeah, from that moment, yeah, I knew Leicester were going to get something from the game, and lo and behold, they got the win through Jordan Ayew's winner. Um, you know, yeah, such a shame right now. Southampton just can't have, and that was the game Russell Martin would have picked out in the calendar and said, guys, we need to get 3 points in this game. Because I don't know their next fixtures, who they've got next in the Premier League. um so no wins already in the table. um no wins already, 8 games in, and you just fear for them. You just fear for Russell Martin. um you know no, it's you just feel what's next for Russell Martin. How can he get points on the board, and that's the mark of a good manager. um you know Adapting, or compromising on your style of play to try and find points, try and find wins on the board, especially when you're down at the bottom. I feel that's something Southampton. Wow, they got City next. They got City at the Etihad, and yeah, I fear for them. Um, um, yeah, that's a tough one. Then they got Stoke in the Carabao Cup. Then they got Everton. They got Everton at home. That's a game where Russell Martin will pick it out. And then they got Wolves away, and then they got Liverpool at home. So Southampton, Wolves, and Everton. Those are games that Russell Martin will be thinking, let's get 4 points at least. Let's get 3 points, 4 points. Southampton need something. The same could be said for Crystal Palace. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on after the fantastic this end to the season they had under when Glasner got the job at Selhurst Park. Things have just fallen. And I saw somewhere that and this is someone that they really 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 miss right now, Michael Olise. I saw somewhere that they've only won once when he's not played under Glasner, which is wow. What a stat. They've only won once without Michael Olise, um, since Glasner's been in the job, which is quite telling, and just goes to show that they are missing someone of that caliber. I feel that Ismail Assar was a good signing, but he's not sustainable. He's not someone that will consistently perform, week in, week out. He's someone that will do well for 2 games, and then the next 3 or 4, 5 games, he's nowhere to be seen. They needed someone that can allow them to they needed an Alicia type, someone, a left-footed creator, someone that can give them some imagination, ingenuity in the final third. Right now, they're too one-dimensional. They're too lax in attack. They're heavily reliant on Eze, and there's no one for Eze to feed off. And Ketio's a fantastic signing, but again, he needs more behind him. Kamada. I love Kamada, Daichi Kamada. I feel he's an intricate player, but I feel he's someone in the middle third that can do his best work in the middle third. Someone they need. Crystal Palace needs someone that, a left-footed creator, someone that can is so good in the interior, so good in the half spaces, that can get in from out wide, like Elise did, cutting in and threading through balls, and finding the passes that no one else can, finding the passes that even Eze can't. And that's what Palace need, and that's why they were so good on the glass, because they had that balance. They were defensively good, but when even times when they weren't, they had they had someone alongside Eze that can create moments of genius and win them games, and that's what they had, and that's what they're missing right now. That's that that they've only won once without Michael Elise under Glasner is quite telling and quite worrying, and very worrying as well. And I feel Palace should have addressed that, because you knew Elise wasn't going to be at Palace for long, and they should have had a contingency plan for me. They should have had someone who's a similar profile. One person I can suggest, or one player I can suggest, who's playing in the Championship right now, and who could be at Southampton. Sorry, Crystal Palace is in Crystal Palace is a price range and wage bracket. Morgan Whittaker of Plymouth, who's now under the manager Wayne Rooney. I feel Morgan Whittaker will be fantastic for them. I feel he's someone of a similar profile to Elise, not as quality as Elise, but he's someone that can get there. He's got a wonderful left foot. He's creative, can score goals out from nowhere. His ball striking is excellent. I did a piece on him, my Anthony Scouts, where I analysed this game for Plymouth. Last season, he was top scorer one of the top scorers in the last season. I thought second top scorer, third top scorer, I think. But yeah, quality player, someone that Palace should be looking at to in the January window. Even I don't think Plymouth will be holding on to him for long. Give them 10, 15 million, he'll be gone. But that's someone Palace should be looking at. Morgan Whittaker, I feel will be excellent for them. Someone that can create those angles in the final third, someone that can work off Eze, someone that can even can perform, can give moments where Eze can't, or if Eze isn't at the top of the game, they have someone there that can fill that void. I feel Morgan Whittaker could take his game to the next level, joining a club like Palace, and they can get Palace's game up a level under Glasner. But again, 2 more months onto January, can Palace wait that long? Will Glasner still be there in December? And it hurts me to say that for me. I don't like to see managers sacked, especially the start that Glasner had at Selhurst Park. I thought he was just the man they needed, and Palace are my tip. Were my tip to get outside tip to get top 9, top 10. That isn't happening right now, and again, we're seeing it right now in their game. They're missing someone of that creative class as Elise, or someone of a similar profile at least. Morgan Whittaker is someone that Anthony Scouts is suggesting. Morgan Whittaker for Palace in January. But again, it's between now and January that matters most. What will Glasner change in his game? Will he change his formation? Because it's just not working right now. It's just not getting the best out of Palace in attack. They've only scored 5 goals. They're the lowest scorers, joint lowest scorers in the league right now. Again, it goes to show that they are missing that left-footed interior player, that left-footed half space creator, right winger who can also play at number 10, who can also work with Eze. But yeah, there's something to address in January. But again, what happens between now and then will be crucial for Palace in trying and getting them out of that rut. But yeah, it's worrying times for them. Also for Wolves, as I've mentioned, against City, losing like they did against City was massively disappointing. Also, Bernardo Bernardo Silva standing in Jose Sar's line of vision. I thought it was the right decision to chalk the goal off. Of course, when the goal went in and I thought VAR was going to intervene, I thought, oh, come on, Wolves going to get a point here. But when I saw it back, it was the right decision in the end. Bernardo Silva, as you can see, as John Stones headed the ball, Bernardo Silva ducked, and Jose Sa was in a good position to save it. he didn't, and it was the right decision for me. Um, and again, City found a way to win, but yeah, Wolves for Wolves, massively disappointing. Again, another team who've got so much quality. When you look at them on paper, Matthias Cunha, Strand Larson, in midfield, Gomez, um, what's his name, Mario Lemina, Andre, in midfield. Yeah, um, um, so many quality, so much quality in the attack. It's just not clicking. And again, I don't want to see Gary O'Neill get sacked because I like him. I'm a fan of O'Neill. I'm a fan of how he's got Wolves playing. I'm a fan of what he's done, not just to get them counter attacking, but also playing out from the back. There's some elements to their game where they're really good in possession. But again, they're just not getting wins. And unfortunately, the Premier League is a results business. If you're not picking up wins, even 8 games into a season, we've seen managers before in the past. Um, um, First 8, 9 games, if they don't have any wins, they're done. But again, Glasner, Russell Martin, Gary O'Neill are such good managers. You don't want to get them. You don't want to see them sack. You want to see them turn it around. And I feel if things don't change within the next month, 3 4 weeks, the inevitable could happen. But yeah, hopefully they could turn it around. Um, Gary O'Neill especially, Wolves should not be down there. Palace should not be down there for me. Um, you know, um, but yeah, let's see if they can turn it around. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it if Gary O'Neill and Glasner can turn things around right now. Football is just, for me, it's just like life. You have your bad moments. You have your period where you're just, nothing's going for you. But how can you pick yourself up? And then it's like life. And how can you turn it around? Um, how can you learn from those mistakes? How can you learn from the bad moments? And then, I hope Gary O'Neill and Glasner can, because they've got it in them. They've got the tactical ingenuity. They've got the foundations to pick the team up again, to learn from their mistakes, to get out of the bad rut. And yeah, I just hope in the next few weeks or so we'll see Palace and Wolves back to getting points and getting wins. But again, it'll be tough because the Premier League is an unforgiving league. That's why it's the best league in the world. You just can't predict. You can't predict anything. But yeah, you know, as tough as it is, as I said before, it's a results business. You need to be winning. And hopefully those two teams can do something. Even Southampton, um, I'll give a huge example. We saw Bournemouth last season under Andoni Iraola when he came in. I think they lost the first 7 games or something like that. They didn't win in their first 8 7 games. Um, and look what they're doing right now. And that allows me to move into Bournemouth and Arsenal. Look what Bournemouth are doing right now. Fantastic team. And I said it. I said in the previous episode, I felt Bournemouth were going to give Arsenal a big run for their money at certain moments in the game. When you go to Vitality, especially under Iraola, you have to be on your guard. You have to be alert. You have to be sober. You have to be vigilant. You have to fight. You have to. You're going to war. It's the way they press, it's their aggressions, their counter, the way they counter press. As soon as they lose the ball, they win it back quickly. The way they all when they're on the attack, they're all over you. They got attacking, when they're attacking numbers, Semenyo, Tavernier, Evan Nielsen, um, Uatara, and Sinistero. So much quality in their Arsenal, but also it's not just the quality they now have. It's Iraola's tactical he's got a tactical master plan to even cause a problem against the top teams, and they did that against Arsenal. I thought they were excellent against Arsenal. Even the set piece goal that they scored to open the scoring was a moment of genius, a moment of class. Um, and having good set pieces, having Arsenal, suffer their from their own medicine, was really good to see. And goes to show that the job Iraola is doing at Bournemouth right now. But yeah, I felt the Saliba decision was the correct decision. I know people will say if Saliba can be red carded for that, Tosin, as I forgot to mention, Tosin should have been red carded in the Chelsea game, which I I agree to a degree, um, but I can see why Tosin didn't get sent off against Chelsea, because Jota was if you see it from the angle, Jota was going away from goal and Coley was sprinting back, so Tosin had cover, and that's why he didn't get sent off. With Evan Nelson and Saliba, um, no one was there. There was no one in their vicinity. The nearest player was t- 15 yards away. The nearest Arsenal player was 15 yards away. Even longer than that. And if Evan Nelson was through, Raya was running back. He was jutting back because he knew Arsenal were in danger. So I thought that was the right decision. Um, and again, we want some consistency, but I can see why they didn't give Torsten the red card in the Liverpool and Chelsea game. But yeah, even when as soon as Arsenal got their man sent off, and what was Trossard doing? What was Trossard doing? Bournemouth and their pressing game, their intense game. Latching onto they're so good, latching onto loose balls and taking advantage of it. What was Trossard doing? Playing the ball back like he did, which put Saliba in a bad spot. Um, um, but yeah, you can't be doing that, especially against Bournemouth. I thought Bournemouth did fantastic well to take advantage of it. The first goal was good, really good moment of class. The second goal um, was fantastic as well. The penalty, a no look penalty from Justin Kluivert. But yeah, I thought Bournemouth were excellent. And there was a moment before they scored where I thought Arsenal were going to come away with something. And Arsenal was so good defensively. But yeah, Bournemouth did really, really well to breach them. Bournemouth did really well in the set piece, and then getting the penalty. But yeah, I did feel Arteta did make an error with his substitutions. I thought he bringing someone as in with and Neri, who I thought he did excellent when he came on. I thought he was excellent. Um, you know, Arsenal needed someone that would carry the ball into those dangerous areas, sustain pressure even with 10 men. And Arsenal are at a level right now where they have to be winning, even if they got a man sent off. They have to be winning. They have to get 3 points. If you want to beat City, if you want to topple City, those are the moments where you ride it out and win 3 points. That's the level it takes to beat City. Winning 3 points even when you have 10 men. City can do it. City can beat a team with 10 men. Arsenal match that level? Can Arsenal match that class? Unfortunately not. We saw that against Bournemouth. But again, I thought Arteta, as much as I love him, as much as I praise him week in week out, I did feel he made an error with his subs. Bringing on two defenders. Bringing on some solidity, which is quite common. But you're Arsenal. You're in a title race. You're challenging Liverpool. You're challenging City. You wanna topple them too. You need to be making subs where you're brave and you're bold, but you're also confident that you've got the quality to go and win the game. And it just wasn't Arsenal's day, and their ill discipline is hurting them a lot. Um, 3 red cards already in 8 games is worrying. It's very, very worrying. And if you want to be winning trophies, you have to be clean. You have to be disciplined. You have to be, on the ball. And that ill discipline is hurting Arsenal. Got a red card. Got sent off against Brighton. Man sent off against City, and it's cost them. It's cost them. And it's not just red cards where you feel, "Oh, okay, you made a bad tackle," and it's red cards that are stemming from errors, stemming from individual errors. The City one, that was an individual error. The Brighton one was an individual error. Um, you know, or players not using their heads. As we saw Rice against Brighton, Bournemouth, Saliba, okay, it wasn't his fault, but he was put in a bad spot from an individual error from his teammate. These are the little details that are the difference of winning the title. That's the little details Arteta needs to fix at least between now and the new year. Someone that can, I agree with people that Arsenal don't have enough leaders. Um, they have leaders, but not enough. Not everywhere on the pitch. Um, you know, um, even without Saka, even without Odegaard, you know, that's the game. Look at City winning without Rodri and De Bruyne, finding a way to win against Wolves, winning. Arsenal didn't have that. Those are the little details, the small details Arsenal need to solve at least between now and Christmas. If they're in a bad rut, if they're in if they don't have the quality in their at their disposal, if they don't have if they're down a man again, Arteta needs to find those moments, those players that he can say, okay, I'm gonna bring this guy on. I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna get 3 points. That's the level he needs to reach to beat Guardiola. I'm hopefully we see that between now and at least Christmas. But Arsenal they can't afford another slip up like Saturday. They can't afford it. City are relentless. Even Liverpool right now, the way they were picking up points, Arsenal don't want to be falling behind those two. So between now and then, Arsenal need to be at their best, even finding their best when they're not at their best. Finding those moments of class when things are going against them. That's what wins you the title. That's what gives you points over City. And then also beating City, beating Liverpool. Those are the ingredients that Arsenal need. But yeah, it's just another problem for Arteta to solve. If he wants to be heralded as the man that beat Guardiola to a league title, those are the things that he needs to solve. And it'll be intriguing because he's someone I believe that can get Arsenal to a league title, but can he do it while Guardiola is City manager? We're hearing reports that Guardiola could be staying at City. Sorry, can be staying at City for a while longer. So it's tough out here. It's tough. It's tough being a title challenging manager, especially against Guardiola. But yeah, I'm hoping Arsenal can find ways to win, can find ways to pick up points even when things aren't going against them. Things are going against them. But yeah, yeah, Premier League is so good, man. You just can't make definitive predictions where you're 100% confident Arsenal going to beat Bournemouth. We saw it the weekend. Bournemouth going against the grain and picking up 3 points. And another notable performance, we saw Tottenham beating West Ham. I did say in the previous episode that Tottenham, aren't as good as they think they are. But yeah, that performance was really class from them. I take some of what I said back. I thought they were fantastic against West Ham, even when they went a goal behind. I thought Dejan Kulusevski, man, what a player! What a player! What a player Kulusevski is. He's excellent. He's tip top. And for me, I haven't agreed with Tottenham's or Postecoglou's tactical plan of having Kulusevski and Maddison, and then having a Basuma behind them. I feel they need more solidity, and that's what Postecoglou figured out. He said in his post match press conference where he said or post match interview, he said, we needed more legs, we needed more solidity, we needed more, someone that can counter press, someone that can win the ball back as soon as we lose it. And he did that. He brought on Sarr for Maddison at halftime, and it worked. It worked a treat. Sarr was excellent. He did exactly what Postecoglou said he needed. And I haven't really agreed with Kulusevski and Madison as the two eights with Basuma, because it relinquishes control for Tottenham. They're not as aggressive. They're not as solid. They're not as intense as Postecoglou would want them. Having Kulusevski and Madison, and someone had to go, and it was unfortunately it was Madison because he got the assist. Did he get the was it assist or goal he got? Yeah, no, he got the assist. He assisted Kulusevski, um, and it had to be him that to go. Unfortunately, but it worked a treat. And as disappointed as Madison would have been, he saw the plan worked. The change worked. And as a manager, those are decisions you have to make, and Postecoglou did that to a T. But yeah, I thought Tottenham were excellent in that game. Son is got a golden goal and an assist. I thought that break that he had, he missed the United. I think he was out since before the United game. So, and then having the international break off, having that 2 week to just get back to form and fitness. And I thought he was excellent against West Ham. He looked back to his best. The way he took his goal was fantastic. The 3 step overs, and then the pass to Debo, and then finishing as emphatically as he usually does. One of the best finishes I've seen in the Premier, as long as I've been a Premier League watch or Premier League fan. One of the best finishes I've seen. Son, fantastic, fantastic player, fantastic, world class player. He's good. Tottenham will be happy he's back to form. But yeah, West Ham. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. Yeah, they won against Ipswich, but that's a game they should be winning. You know, um, and Lopetegui is the manager that we all expect. Would take them as further as they did with as they were with David Moyes. And those are as soon as they took the lead, those are the I thought West Ham, okay, can they show something to try and get a point at least. That was a match where I thought West Ham could have made the most of Tottenham's lack of solidity and lack of aggression in the first half. I thought West Ham were going to take advantage of it, but yeah, they're so bad defensively right now, and it's something you wouldn't expect from a team that is being managed by Lopetegui. We know he's a manager that is steadfast, that is he stands on business. He stands on being defensively sound first. He needs his team to be defensively sound first before right now they're just so poor defensively. Um, I did give the suggestion a few episodes ago to have Tadibo and Kilman as the defensive partnership rather than Kilman and Mavropanos. There's a part of me that's saying maybe Lopetegui needs to go to a back three. Maybe there's a part of me that's saying Lopetegui needs to go back to Mavropanos and Kilman. But yeah, again, that's the mark of a good manager, trying to find solutions to get your team winning matches, getting points on the board, and getting points at big teams like Tottenham. That can Lopetegui do that? Moyes didn't do that enough, and that's why fans got in his back. Yeah, what West Ham they've got so much to solve, they've got so much to fix right now. Even in attack, they're a bit. They're not there yet. Paqueta's not his usual self. He does have some moments of class, but it's not sustainable right now. They need to get Bowen firing. I thought Bowen was fantastic against Tottenham, to be honest. Kudus, before he got red carded, I thought it was excellent. He just lost his head at the final moment, and he deservedly got sent off. Kicking out on Van der Ven about 2 or 3 times, hitting out at Van der Ven and someone else. Yeah, he deserves the red card. Hopefully that's something he can learn from. And now he's going to miss the match against United on Sunday. Even 2 more games after that. So West Ham need to find a way to pick up points without him. They've got a solution in Somerville. who did have his moments when he came on. By then the game was already won by Tottenham, but he did look good. Somerville, he did look good when he came on. Again, he'll be starting. I'm sure he'll be starting against United on Sunday. But yeah, West Ham need to solve their defensive issues. Maybe going to three at the back for a while. Maybe solidifying the midfield a bit. Um, but yeah, tough time for Lopetegui, and if he doesn't pick up points, like the managers at the bottom, like those that are struggling for points right now. If you don't, if this is a results business, if you're not picking up wins, over a sustained period, you're in trouble. Um, and yeah, but yeah, impressive Brighton winning against Tottenham. Brighton fantastic. But how Newcastle didn't come away with even a goal. I was massively surprised. I was massively surprised. Um, Newcastle did everything to score. Newcastle did everything but score, and that's been the problem with them this season. That's the problem again. Eddie Howe has an issue. Eddie Howe is a top manager who has a big issue that he needs to solve, and that's getting Newcastle fire in the front of goal again. But yeah, how they came away with that game without at least a goal, or a draw at least, it was very surprising. Um, you know, but yeah, Brighton, fantastic to come away with a point. I mean, to a win. You know, if you can ride a storm as they did and come out at the other end with all 3 points, you've done well. But yeah, Newcastle, yeah, Eddie Howe, big job on his hands to get them firing again. Um, Isaac didn't look his usual self. He hasn't looked his usual self for a while. Anthony Gordon's been looking good, but not getting the goals that his game deserves right now. Um, but yeah, I think Newcastle will be fine. But again, it's a problem Eddie Howe needs to solve. Um, Another impressive win: Aston Villa beating Fulham 3-1 at Craven Cottage. I did say in the previous episode that getting 3 points at Craven Cottage is very tough right now. But Aston Villa are strong, so good. Watkins header, oh my god, what a header! You know, if there's one striker that can get you a goal like that, apart from Haaland, apart from the usual suspects, if there's one striker in the league that can get you a goal like that, it's Watkins. What a header! Emphatic. He's got that finish in him, Watkins. But yeah, I thought Aston Villa were brilliant. You know, um, and if you want to see the transformation that they've had on the Unai Emery, just look at a player like Lucas Digne. He's been brilliant on that left flank, giving them the width, giving them the not just the width, but the width to try and open up the spaces in which Rogers, Watkins, Ramsey can work in. Providing that defense, that attacking class. But yeah, then as he's also got those crosses, those lovely crosses and through balls and all that stuff with his left foot. But yeah, if you wanna measure Aston Villa's transformation, just look at Lucas Digne and the impact he's made. Um, you know, and you can even look at the fact that Lucas Digne has been so good that even a player as good as Alex Moreno had to go out on loan to Forest, to their rival, to get game time. That just goes to show the levels that Villa are playing at right now, and the levels that Lucas Digne has got to. Because he looked a gunner at certain points last season. He looked like his Villa career was over. But yeah, he's been brilliant, and that goes to show the class that Villa have got to under Emery's management. But yeah, I thought Villa were excellent. How can I get through Anthony Scott's episode without talking about United? I thought we were good against Brentford. To be honest with you, when Pinnock scored, I thought, here we go again. Here we go again. And even there were certain points where Brentford were playing through our press so easily. I was thinking, oh, come on. Like, still the same old story with Ten Hag. Brentford they had a free man. Um, had a free man in when they were playing out from the back. Always had a free. It was if it was Damsgaard, if it was Janelt, someone was always free to break United's press. And it was frustrating to watch. But then second half, I wasn't expecting that fight back, to be honest. And Ten Hag said that in his interview afterwards, he said that we were angry from Brentford's goal, which was a bit controversial. I thought was the right decision, to be honest. If your face is looking like blood all over it, and you've got to come off the pitch. But again, that De Ligt's absence led to Brentford's goal. And it was in the exact zone that the Lit was supposed to cover in the set piece that Brentford scored, which was disappointing. I can and you can see why everyone was angry, but yeah, United came out firing, angry, disappointed, and they added they allowed to use that as they managed to use that as fuel. They got the 2 goals. Hoyland's finish was fantastic. Rashford's cross for Garnacho, quality. And Rashford has looked good in moments this season. He's looked good in games this season. It just I want him scoring. I want him scoring goals. I love when Rashford scores goals, man. But yeah, that assist for Garnacho was fantastic. Um, you know, the, the question now is, can we go on a run? Can we go on a run of form? We haven't. I don't think we've won 2 games in a row this season, which is disappointing. Um, or we've only done it once. Where I think beat Southampton and beat Barnsley or something like that. But it's too much inconsistency. Can we go? Can we go to Fenerbahce on Thursday and win? Can we go to West Ham on Sunday and win? Can we get 9 points on the board? Can we pick up 3 wins this week? That's the question. That's what is frustrating for us as United fans about Ten Hag and over the last 2 seasons. Can we go on a run? And it's frustrating. Can we go to Fenerbahce and win? And right now, as I'm even posing that question, I'm doubting. Because we're not looking as consistent. We're not looking as controlled as we should be. There's still even when moments where we looked good against Brentford, there's still moments where we're fragile. There's still moments where Brentford are easily getting past us. Brentford are easily pressing, beating our press. Beating our defense, beating our midfield. It's frustrating to watch. But we need to go on a run right now. We need to gain some consistency. And that's been frustrating. But yeah, another fantastic week of Premier League action. Glad to give my 2 pence, as I always do, against the Premier League. The Champions League is back this week. Some good games to look upon. Bayern and Barca on Wednesday. By the way, Barca looking fantastic on the Hansi Flick. The way they battered Seville on the weekend was impressive. And I did point out on my Twitter account where I said that under Hansi Flick so far, Barcelona aren't looking as I mean, they're not just good to watch in terms of football, but they're now scary again. Remember when Barcelona was so scary? When you went to the stadium, you were intimidated. They're looking that way again under Hansi Flick. They're so aggressive, so intense. And I think Flick has done brilliant to get them to the physical levels. I even argue that they're looking arguably better than they did under Xavi when they won the league. They're looking as good as they were then. And that's a credit to Hansi Flick and the impact he's made, even with the problems off the field, even with the injuries they've had. It's good to see Gavi coming back from injury. After the year out with a ligament issue. But yeah, Barcelona are looking top. I prefer them to Real Madrid, and it's because of that, because of those facets, and not just good on the ball and good to watch in terms of their football, but they're scary. They're intimidating. They're physically they're physical monsters, and that's what Flick has got them to those levels again. Yamal looking so good, Rafinha, his rejuvenation over the past few months, or even just this calendar year, he's been brilliant. Defensively, they're looking much better. They're not just they're not fragile anymore. Even when they haven't got a tip top number six to shield the back four. But do you know why? They haven't been breached that much because their press is so good. Their counter press under Flick has been fantastic. The way when they lose it, they win it back within a few seconds. When teams build up from the back, Barcelona are on them like nutcases. That's the levels Hansi Flick has got them to, which is impressive. But yeah, big test for them against Bayern Munich, who are looking really good on the company. I can't lie, I'm surprised by the job company's done, but also I expected it as well because company's tactical levels are top. Um, and yeah, Bayern are looking really good. They battered Stuttgart 4-0. Harry Kane getting another hat trick. The guy, man, he's just crazy. The guy is just a crazy goal scorer. Um, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, these guys, man. Victor Gyökeres of Sporting, these guys are just crazy goal scorers right now. I think there's someone else, Lewandowski. How can I forget about Lewandowski? These guys are just relentless. But yeah, it's fantastic to watch. And Harry Kane and Lewandowski come up against each other on Wednesday, which would be a good game. Arsenal Shakhtar. Arsenal hoping to bounce back. Liverpool Leipzig. That's another top game. Um, Villa in Champions League action. Can they make it 3 wins from 3 against Bologna? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Some really good games to feast upon yet again. And then we got the Premier League a few days after that. Well, Europa League on Thursday. United in action. Tottenham in action. Chelsea in the Europa Conference League. But yes, yeah, this is why we love football right now. This is why we love the football calendar. Well, as gruesome as it is for us as fans, is great to watch. But then again, something needs to be done. As we've argued, as we've discussed over the past few weeks and months, the fixture list is too much. These players are human beings, not robots. Something needs to be done. But while it is where it is right now, it's enjoyable having the Premier League, Champions League a few days later, Europa League, having the Premier League again a few days later. But yeah, it's enjoyable, fantastic. And this is why I love football. This is why I do this. This is why I'm starting this podcast again. Just to give my 2 pence, just to give my thoughts, express my views. But yeah, thank you for listening to me again. Thank you for being with me on this episode 9. And yeah, God bless. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.